Our sitting vice president just Thomas Aquinas pilled people on national TV to explain immigration.
But there's this old school, and I think it's a very Christian concept, by the way, that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens in your own country, and then after that, you can focus and prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. They seem to hate the citizens of their own country and care more about people outside their own borders. That is no way to run a society. And I think the profound difference that Donald Trump brings to the leadership of this country is the simple concept, America first. It doesn't mean you hate anybody else. It means that you have leadership, and President Trump has been very clear about this, that puts the interests of American citizens first. In the same way that the British Prime Minister should care about Brits and the French should care about the French, we have an American president who cares primarily about Americans, and that's a very welcome change.
What is President Xi doing? What is Vladimir Putin?
He's looking after the Chinese. Putin is looking after the Russians. They're entitled to do that. Thank God we now have an American president who's looking after the citizens of his own country.
So beautifully said. Get this man the Thomas Aquinas Award for Mass Political Communications. I don't know if any institute puts that out. They should put one out, and they should give it to J.D. Vance. What a beautiful way to explain, in simple terms, the order of charity, which we can deduce using our reason, which flows perfectly from Christian principles, and which does not contradict the faith at all. Think about it this way. You're walking past a swimming pool, and you see a little kid drowning. What do? If you have any courage at all, if you have any virtue at all, you're going to jump in that pool, try to save the kid. Now, let's say there's a really big swimming pool, and there are two kids drowning. God forbid. One of them is your child, and then one of them is someone else's child. Who do you jump in to save first? You want to save them both, but who is it right to jump in to save first? Your kid, obviously, because you have a greater responsibility to your child than you do to someone else's child. You want to help them both, but if you can't help them both, if you have to prioritize things, as we all do in time and space, then you prioritize your child first. If you didn't, if you left your child to drown to go save someone else's kid, people would look at you weird. People would think that there's something actually immoral about that, and there would be something immoral about that. And St. Thomas writes about this at great length, actually. And I'm sure J.D. Vance is familiar with that, and he is bringing the teaching of the angelic doctor, the great scholastic, to modern public ears. That's how we have to think about immigration. It's not that we don't like people in Venezuela or Honduras or Nicaragua. It's not that we don't like people in China or Tahiti or Africa. But there's an order of charity here. It is the responsibility of the vice president and the president, and of everyone in our country, to look first for our countrymen. You care first for your family, then for your local community, then your state, then your country. And then we look after people from elsewhere in the world.